All right, y'all. We are here with another episode of It's a Saturday Sit Down with the lovely Miss Di Wins. I just wanted to bring her on. Y'all, a fun fact. Me and Di met 7 years ago now, going on 8.
14, girl.
2014, y'all. I was pregnant as hell, wobbling, and nobody knew. Nobody knew. And she was the first person I met. So it's just been a pleasure and an honor just to have watched you grow over the years. You're not only May's auntie, but you're also like a really close friend, which I just love and admire you and your growth. So I just knew I had to have you on. As soon as I got the idea to do this, in my head. So thank you for being here tonight. Okay.
What, girl?
All right, so the first question for you is, who is Di? Who is Di Wins? Let us know.
Okay, so Di Wins is a girl who is very much so city by genetics. So a lot of people think that I'm not from Weldon or North Carolina in general. A lot of people mistake me for DMV because they hear the little twang in my voice, but they like, nah, she ain't from North Carolina. So I'm a street style lover. I am a psychology lover. I am a leadership expert. I would say my degree was in leadership, fun fact. And so as a result, I am tying all of those things in and really right now branding Di Wins as well. Like OxiMoron is my brand, like my business, but I'm branding myself as well. So that's basically me. I'm a lover of all things relationship. I have a YouTube that, a lot of people be like, oh, find your niche. And my niche is I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. So that's the biggest thing. I don't like being in a box. So I'm very OxiMoron. My name is very fitting. And that's basically who Di is.
All right, awesome. And I can definitely agree to that. I can attest to not wanting to fit into the box. I remember the first time that we really met was doing that training. And I would never forget this. When that woman said, some of you will be working till 9. And you said, excuse me, ma'am, not me. Not me. And I was like, oh my God. How is she telling the trainer that? Granted, she had our schedules wrong, but the fact that you was the first one to be like, not this one. No, no.
And that's just on period.
And then I called my mom. I said, Mom, oh my gosh, I don't know if this girl is going to be here long. And look at us. You lasted longer than me.
So. And I'm still there.
Still there. Still. Girl, we got some memories from Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'll tell you that. All right. So meeting you then and knowing what type of person you was, and just overall, because back then you had a sense of style then, but in the early 2010s we was doing
2014.
2014 we was doing like the little pants with the designs on them, the spaghetti straps with the little coat, the little jackets, and you was styling and profiling then. So how did OxiMoron Fashion Sense come into fruition, and then how has it evolved?
Ooh, so that's a loaded question, because here's the thing. Where we met is why I started OxiMoron. So everybody, just like Jess, you weren't the only one who said that. Of course, Jazz said she was looking like, oh, she probably not gonna make it, because I was very out and open, and I really think I was one of the oldest ones in the class. It was like me, Toya, and Tier. Like we were like one of the older ones. So I think that was another reason. Like I felt kind of liberated. Like I'm gonna say what I want to say, and they not just about to handle me like I'm fresh out of college, because that was kind of like the prereq. They wanted people fresh out of college or whatever. So I was like, no, they're not just gonna handle me. And by then I had been in customer service all this time, and really just knowing that this is not what I want to do. I didn't really land in psychology, because by then, like 2015, that's when it started becoming a thing. Like, listen, if you are a psych major, that's one of the worst degrees to get. Everybody gets it, and you're going to have to go get your master's. Well, this girl right here said, I'm not going back to school. I refuse. So I was like, what am I going to do? I have to find a passion, because I'm going to lose my mind here. Naturally, I'm someone who has to have stability. I need to know what's going to happen next, and I need to have some kind of control of what's happening in my life. So as a result, I was like, let me just go ahead and try to do this. It was definitely people like on Facebook telling me I should do it, because that was the era of blogging. So I started out as a blog, and initially I had so many ideas for my blog. I really wanted to start out with plus size men fashion, fun fact. And then it went from there to, and the issue with that was because a lot of men who were plus size never had the courage or esteem to really be out in the open and kind of be a subject for me. Right. So I had to change, routes. So then I went into church girl slay. I realized that I didn't want to be known as the church girl. That's who I am to my core, but I didn't want to be classified that way because I didn't want to deter potential clients who aren't church people, quote unquote, from working with me. So I changed that. And then I just kind of started blogging about whatever. And it just grew from there to 2015 is when I started the blog. 2015, and I was like, listen, I'm not a blogger. I just did that start out. I want to be like a stylist. So 2016, starting to introduce myself like, listen, I'm tired of blogging. So by 2017, I completely rebranded. And that's when I went on YouTube. It was just like really trying to get it out there. Like, I'm a stylist. And, really, North Carolina was not on it at all. Like, so it was very different. And really, I was struggling, trying to get help with that. And luckily, people like Jess and my other friends, they really let me work with them. So it kind of built my brand while in the Durham area. Because not for nothing, it's a little bit more on the scene now, but Durham RDU area was not on the fashion tip. So it was very imperative that I had my friends and stuff to help me, because it wouldn't have been an OxiMoron Fashion Sense if it wasn't for y'all. So just want to say thank you for that. And so now,
I said, of course.
Yeah. And so now I am doing photo shoots for brands. One big client that I have, Bombed Aesthetics, it's a couple who make skincare products, and they're based right here out of Charlotte. Huge. They're all over the influencers they use, like, it's crazy. Then I have had the opportunity to work with a lot of other small business owners, because that's my target audience, business owners. And now recording artists has always been like my thing. I started working with a barber out of Durham named St. Vaughn. He is a artist as well. And so I started working with him in 2016 and branding him, and was able to style him for a video shoot. So that's a little bit of my resume, not trying to hold y'all, but yeah, it's really evolving. And now I am, for 2022, getting into coaching and getting into merch again. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you still got them shirts or whatever." And I was like, "I'm not doing merch. I'm not a merchant." I was really adamant about that. But now I'm just on where the dollar's at.
And I love it. I love it because, again, I have seen the growth. I've seen all the progression. I have seen so many stages of die, like, again, from the beginning up until now.
Literally.
And so knowing that, so you gave a little bit about your background, and like, not a lot of people know that you were from a small town, because your style is really so city. So it's like, how did you find your fashion sense? And then how did you allow for yourself to be you? Because we are in where we're from, it's very much like, oh, that's you, like, that's weird, like, oh, that's off. So, like, where you from? So how did you allow for Die to win and shine despite being from a small area?
I'm going to say this personality that I have has been who I am and will always be since a child. My dad was a fashion designer in the 80s. He literally designed my mom's wedding dress. So this is genetically a part of who I am. And then, like, my mom is very much so into fashion, but very feminine, shall I say. So I was always that girl that had the big dresses, the elaborate bows, and also too many bows on my head. It was just girly. Well, I didn't want to be like that. So then I went into a tomboy phase. I had big jeans. You know, that was the Aaliyah phase. I wore bandanas. Like, I was wearing the clueless sweaters, but, you know, kind of baggy. Like, that was my style. Well, as I evolved and kind of got into myself in middle school, I combined them. So, like, 7th grade, I really came out my shell and, like, just really being me. And I was able to do that because we had to dress up because I was a cheerleader. Mm-hmm. So on game days, I would kind of play with different styles and stuff like that, never looking like anybody, but always picking little things that were trendy. So then, you know, like we had the Air Force One heel boots. I would have that, or like the jersey dresses, but I would still put my, you know, my spin on it. Like I've always been that girl. So I would say I'm able to do, or was able to do then what I'm able to do now, because I've just always been that person who didn't care about your opinion. Like I've never cared what other people were doing. And if too many people did it, I wasn't with it. And you know, some people like that are annoying though. Like that, oh, somebody else doing, I don't want to do. It's not like to that extent, but I don't like looking like a clown. Like I want to be able to be me.
All right. And we love to see it. So my next question was about like the transition from Blue Cross, so doing what we were doing, so working in the escalations, and
yeah,
that was fun times, y'all. Fun times. Fun fact, Di was the first person to introduce me to what sushi. Like I had never had none of that. Like I was very much gravy, rice. Like when we was going to the calf,
yeah.
Right? We was going to the calf, I was getting grits, and then her and the other girls was like, "Girl, you got to try something else." I was still pregnant. I was like, I don't know. Like that she put me on to so much, y'all. I tell you, within the short time that we had known each other, it was literally like we had known each other all our lives. Like they had
and
all.
That's my personality, and that's your personality,
right? Yep. And that's our personality. Like when you had got together and got me a baby shower gift, and was like, you was like, I made everybody pitch in. I'm like,
not bully.
Thank you. But I just love, like I said, I love to see it. So how was that transition from Blue Cross and escalations and do what you were doing into starting OxiMoron and then evolving into styling? So how has that transition been for you?
That's a loaded question. A roller coaster. So when we met, of course, nobody thought I would last. I was very outspoken. And if I wasn't with it, I wasn't with it. And I never forget the day of training, we were let out for lunch. And I went with Ashley. And she was like, I just love the job. And I said, I hate it and I'm not staying here. And everybody was looking like, weird thing. Myself and Latia are the only ones out of that 20-something class that's still there. So I would say once I decided to do OxiMoron, it gave me sanity to do what I had to do, because my job is definitely a means to an end. Like I'm not trying to stay there, but it became frustrating for me like around 2016, because I started getting responsibilities that I enjoyed. So I was still, of course, like taking my pictures, and it would be very much so like work fashion. So that was then what I was getting into, like taking pictures of my outfit of the day type of thing. So I started getting in meetings with people and feeling like special, like, oh, I might just be somebody. So then things started changing, the structure started changing, and my responsibilities slowly but surely got stripped because of people not wanting to give me what I deserved. So as a result, I went back to kind of like that mundane work that we started out doing. So I checked out. And as a result, I started doing more with OxiMoron, but still staying there because I needed to fund my business. So finally in 2021, after almost losing my mind, because I will say in 2022, my posture became grateful because so many people lost their jobs. so many people didn't know how they were going to get through the year. And I was already working from home. So I was just so grateful. Like, thank you, God. And even now, let's be clear, I tell God, thank you all the time, because I hate the job, but it's still income that I need that funds my business. So 2021 came and it was like, okay, girl, so we're all pivoting. These people that were screaming and about to lose their mind are out here thriving. So what can we do to also thrive and not be depressed about working this job that we know we hate? So where I'm at now is today, or this year is my leap year. And I call it leap year because I'm taking a leap of faith. And I am going to leave my 9 to 5. I am nervous, but not really, because I'm so agitated and I almost feel like I've missed so many opportunities. You know, they say like, well, you know. I feel like I've had that feeling so many times. And it really slapped me in my face in November of 2021. So I was ready to quit in December, to be honest. And then again last week. So I cut all my hair off because I don't know, for people who follow me on Instagram, I had blonde hair and I was working on a Molly from Insecure. But the job was just becoming so overwhelming because now that I know and have gotten my mind made up, like, oh, I'm going to quit. Now am I going to make it to this time frame that I said? You know, so then that's been the thing. And I just kind of lost it. So I'm going to say it's been a roller coaster, but definitely one of lessons. I've learned a lot about myself, about my capacity, to be honest. Like, to be able to juggle a job that you really hate, believe it or not, y'all, it's really hard to do what you love to do, but also have to show up to something you hate 5 times out the day or the week. So the middle of 2021, I started doing 4x10 so that on Mondays I would have time to work with my clients. So now I only work 4 days a week at my full-time job, and then we're about to go full-time. And that's just how it's been.
Okay. And I know that's a lot because, again, you've been there since 2014, and then you started having these feelings of like I need to be doing something else. I want to be somewhere else. And like with 2015, 2016, and you still find yourself there because, like you said, it's a means to an end. And as somebody who left their job, because, you know, I left Blue Cross and I went into teaching, and I was leaving Blue Cross like I'm going to something better, and like teaching is going, because they did not want to put us on for permanent for nothing. Like
it took me 2 years.
Girl, they did not want to give us no type of benefits. And so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna take a leap of faith and go into teaching. And then I got into teaching and I was like, damn, this shit pretty horrible. Like, and it wasn't the kids, it was more so the admin and the overall school system, like the overall system. I was like, oh no. And just like you know, I don't really hold my tongue. So then I became problematic and I became aggressive, all those things. And so like you, I really felt like, okay, well, I was moving up and I thought I was going to be able to make a difference. And those same people really be trying to break you down so low that it's like, I want you to feel like you're nothing. That's how I want you to feel. And so that's when I knew it was time for me to get out of teaching. And I left teaching and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur full time. And then with that, it was like I started to second guess myself. So it was like I took a leap of faith, but then I got in my own way because I was like, I mean, well, am I good enough? Like, could I be doing this? Like, oh my God. But had I been teaching, it still probably would have felt like you did, knowing that there was something that you love more, but you had to do these things to kind of fund your dreams. And so I know I'm not the only person who feels like this or who have ever felt like that. And so I just wanted to ask, what advice do you have for people who are kind of in the similar situations, like who started off somewhere that they didn't really like, but they have passions that they want to pursue? And some people honestly aren't ready to take that leap of faith yet. So what advice would you have for people like that?
So it boils down to personality types. And so for a personality type of someone, let's say, and she's our friend, so I'm sure she wouldn't mind me throwing her name out there, Latia. Her and I are 2 different people, but we're both in the same boat, right? So a person like Latia, they have dreams. They're not necessarily creative dreams, but they're also very adamant about stability. And so with people like those individuals, they need a plan. So what I would say is definitely have a plan so that you know that financially you still have a backing, because she is someone who is not looking to tap into her 401k because she's still thinking long term. I, on the other hand, same individual who is also there still, also enjoys stability, but I'm taking out my 401k because this is no longer serving me a purpose. So as a result, I am doing things for my creative business to ensure that when I quit, I might not have to touch the 401k. So that's why I'm working in January to prepare later down the road. But at the same time, I also have this option B. So there's Di, and then there's Latia. Latia has a lot of options, but they're not set in stone options. I have two options. That's this will work this way with what I'm working on as far as the different streams of income that come through OxiMoron, or use my 401k to, like, let's say, fund ads or cover my rent as I grind and network. So my advice would be, depending on what you're trying to do, because there's two things. You could want to be an entrepreneur in a more structured space, like, I don't know, trying to start your own school, or maybe wanting to be a physical therapist and you want to start your own, practice. Those more practical things, I would say, definitely needs a plan. Like, write down your plan, make it plain. Now, I have a vision board. It's really big. Y'all can't see it. I would turn the camera, but be very intentional about what you want out of the year. And I know some people don't like vision boards, so some people don't even know what they are, but it's simply putting your dreams on paper. But me being the religious person that I am, I didn't pray over it. I started a thing last year where I started praying over my calendar days. God, feel it. I want to be booked. Connect me to the right people. I want to network with the right people. I want to be intentional today about what I do with my time. So it's really about intentionality and vision. And then from there, it's just personality type.
All right. We love to see it. And the fact that you can break it down based on the personalities. Because again, like when people are in these situations, they might listen to something or watch something, and then a person will be like, oh, well, they said to do this. And then they don't take into accountability the different type of personalities. And so you do have you have a giant personality that is very much like, I'm going to get it done and I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do what I want to do. And so that is a lovely personality to have when you are venturing off to do your own thing. And like I said, and from the beginning, just to see your growth, because it started off with styling us. Like I remember you styled me for my birthday. It was with my 20, I'm 29 now. So back then I was with 25.
Girl, you about,
yeah, like 20. I was newly, this was like my first single birthday. So like, like I was excited, and everybody still love those pictures. Like even if I repost them, and yet the crazy part was we took the pictures on the phone. Like
always, both of your shoes was on the phone.
On the phone, like on the phone. And so that's what's still so dope about it, was like everybody was like, oh, who took those? Who took those? And I'm like, oh, my friend Diamond, she took it on my phone. And like they still get so many likes, like even when I repost them. And favorite shoot thus far. And so well, like I said, you met me when I had May, and then you seen when I came back to work. So it was like I came like bloated and swole, and then when I came back to work, everybody was like, who is that? Who is that girl? But over time, I had kind of lost my sense of style, my sense of dress, like because when I became a mother and when I left my relationship, I was just like a zombie. And
Yeah.
even then, you were still like, girl, you can get it back, like do this,
Mm-hmm.
do that. And I remember you showing me different outfits, like this is how you got to work with this and you got to do that. And I was still not as confident as I was at
Right.
first. And so again, there are so many people, men and women, because I remember when you were doing your big boy thing, and I remember the
Mm-hmm.
pictures, and I was like, oh, who is that? Like I remember you traveling to Charlotte to go do your photo shoots.
Wow.
And so knowing that there are so many people like me and like those men who aren't as confident and who kind of lost their sense of style over the years,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's because of a relationship or because they became a parent or just overall life whooping ass. Like, what
Period.
advice and tips do you have for people to kind of tap back into their own oxymoron?
That's a great question. So overall, just like just said, for me, while I am someone who can be considered a fashion stylist, and a lot of people don't know the difference between a personal stylist, a fashion stylist, and an image consultant. But your girl is all three, and that's just that on that. So as far as the personal styling, that's where I get my best emotions, like because I'm literally changing lives. That's where I tie my psychology in. Like just said, when you're feeling low, when you're transitioning through life, things are happening. Clothes make you feel better. And that's just that on that. You don't have to have a huge budget to feel better either, because the outfit that I styled you in both times were very inexpensive. If anything, when you come to me, the biggest fee that you're gonna pay is mine. And I stand by that, and I feel no type of way. And if you can't afford it, then that's just what it is. But I give experience and I build relationships. That's something I'm super intentional about. So as a result, I think that when you're looking to, I guess, embrace where you are, should I say, it's important to open up enough so that someone can help you. That's the biggest thing. And understanding that there is a psychology to it. Really embrace colors. One thing that I'm trying to be very intentional about this year is the color green. The color green is prosperity, money, all that stuff. So green is my favorite color, but I'm talking about I'm gonna do green drop, just stuff. Like I'm gonna try to find a way to incorporate, excuse me, more green. So that's when the image consultant piece comes in, like kind of bringing those colors to, I guess, the forefront. Because a lot of times when you aren't feeling your best, you kind of wear more dull colors, bigger clothes, and the men that I work with, they're hilarious because they always wear the wrong size. Always wear the wrong size. So I love to have in-person styling sessions to jump like the whole relationship off. We gotta really start off with me seeing you. Let's have a conversation. Let's get to know each other. And then from there, I'm kind of like breaking you apart, not in a bad way, but kind of figuring out what I can do to make sure that you are your best self. So my tips would definitely be to embrace color, be intentional with your color, and be intentional about what you wear. But then self-talks are super imperative. While you're brushing your teeth and you're trying to figure out what you're going to wear for the day and trying to figure out just how your day is going to go, have those conversations because it helps structure your whole day. And it kind of almost tells you how it's going to go. So instead of that loose hoodie and those baggy sweatpants that you were going to wear, try to add something a little bit more snazzy. So if you feel like wearing loose fitted stuff like me, to be honest, I'm a street style connoisseur. So you even see what I got on now. I'm very feminine, but I'm very street. So I'm not saying it got to be floral and, high waist jeans all the time. Or for guys, like you got to be having like your dapper on all the time. I'm not ever saying that. But when you're feeling low, those are the moments that you have to be intentional about your appearance.
Right. And that honestly makes sense. Again, with everything that's been going on with the pandemic and people being in the house and people
For
not
sure.
being able to show out like they used to do, like I know that makes a very big difference of like, let me just throw this on and let me just go.
Yeah.
It did get to the point where it was like, I ain't give a damn how I look, long as I had on clothes, period. Like, you lucky I wore a
I was
damn
like that
underwear.
too.
You better be lucky I ain't coming here swinging and dangling today. And you just gotta take it. And so now that I am getting back to a point where it's like, okay, like damn, I kind of, and I don't like to say let yourself go because life happens and sometimes you aren't a priority in relation to everything that you got to take care of.
But you
So
should never be okay with that though.
never being okay. Never again. Okay. But again, when you healing, you just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
girl, it's like, girl, you always looking at yourself like Viola Davis with the snot running down, girl. You just like, I'm just trying to make it. Oh, damn. And so now that I'm at a point where it's like, no, you are that girl. Like it's you gonna
Yeah.
get it back. Like and being intentional, like you were saying, it is time to find somebody who provides services that you do. So, what type of services do you offer? And then how can somebody work with Dye?
Good question. So I provide a variety of services, and that starts with consultations, wardrobe consultations, where you already have a lot of things in your closet, you just don't know what to do with it. Then I have the opportunity for people to come and shop with me in person. And that's kind of like what I do with my male clients in particular. I need y'all to meet me. Ain't no over, no, come here. I had somebody from Raleigh come all the way to Charlotte just because I needed to meet with him and he won't wear the right size. So the personal shopping experience is imperative for people who know that they are in between sizes or just in between styles. And just trying to find what their personal style is. I provide event styling for people like my entrepreneurs who have launch parties. For instance, I just got a client who is releasing a cookbook, and I'll be styling her. That is what I consider event styling. And then I have the photo shoots, the branding sessions for entrepreneurs, where I also provide creative direction. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I have created sets. And that's basically like the backdrop, but I did it for maternity clients as well as setting up branding shoot concepts. And then now getting into skincare. I've now got 2 skincare clients. And in the world of social media, it's not just as simple as here's this soap. Like, no, it's not that. Like, we need a vibe. So I created a safari vibe for that. And then I'm always here for a good old fashion show. So if you have a fashion show that you're trying to throw, I am basically an event organizer for that as well. I just had one during the pandemic that was super successful. I was so amazed by the turnout, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. The way that you can contact me, my website is OxiMoron Fashion Sense, and the oxymoron is with an I instead of a Y. So it's oxymoronfashionsense.com. And then we have, of course, the Instagram, which is oxymoron_fash on. You know what? No, that's the wrong platform. That's on Twitter. On Instagram, is oxymoron fash_on. So it's like fash on. Then we on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? We got a like page, OxiMoron Fashion Sense, if you into Facebook over the other platforms. And then we got Pinterest, you know what I'm saying? Follow my boys. I'm Dow Wins on there though, because I'm a personal brand, as I told y'all. So that's where you'll get more of like my personal looks and like my behind the scenes. I'm a lifestyle consultant, y'all. Like just said, I put her on the sushi. I give experiences, and that's why you pay my fee. Because when you come to me, I'm not just styling you, I'm expanding your lifestyle. So with that, I have no feelings towards my fee. Not that it's ridiculous, y'all. I just want to don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of it. Let's be clear. It's just that a lot of people, specifically in North Carolina, aren't familiar with what it really costs to get your life changed. And you have to invest. And I said just that too. It's an investment. You know what I'm saying? So I also provide branding services. So let's say you have an idea. I don't know if you guys know who Fashionable Food Critic is. That's my best friend. She's real big on TikTok, but I branded her with that name. She don't take as many pictures of herself as I intended for her to tie in the fashionable part of the food critic. But we're working in 2022. We're looking forward to it.
Progress.
But y'all loving it anyway. Y'all eating it up, so that's what matters. But I do things like that. If you have an idea, but you don't know how to launch it, you don't know how to brand it, I provide branding services as well. We get on the phone, we talk about what it is that you're wanting to do, and we go from there. So array of services. Just book your girl. Really that simple.
Okay, girl, that's simple. All right, so before we go, I just wanted to open it up. So do you have anything else you want to share? Any last remarks before we let the people go?
Sure. So like I said, it's 2022 and I have a lot of things that I am involved with. The biggest thing is that I am a part of a duo. There's a photographer and then there's myself. And we specifically target small business owners. We going up a notch in 2022. So y'all stay tuned for that. We are called the Elite Experience. It's really that simple. You want elite looks, you want elite quality with your pictures, and you want an elite studio, because that's what we got. Then you book us. Then I have a partner who I collab with. She was one of the designers for my fashion show last year. We are launching a pop-up fashion show that'll be all throughout the city of Charlotte called Fashion Hype. It's like a flash mob. So that is something that we are also working on that will be released in April of 2022. Yeah, 22. Both of us are Tauruses. We have the same birthday, so that is when we're launching. Of course, why not? Then
and you do the whole, they need to know you don't just do a birthday, you do the month of die. You do
it's that month, baby.
She do every single day is dedicated to her birthday. When I first met her, y'all, I was like, girl, okay. But no, she for real. Like, and I've been going on 8 years now. And for 8 years, the whole month is dedicated to yourself. So it is very fitting. Very fitting for you to be launching all this during that month, because it's gonna be big, it's gonna be major, and I'm excited to see it.
And your girl is finally. Hold on. I just really want to put a pin here.
Put a pin in it.
If you are a merchant, because I don't want to say no. This could go really wrong. I don't want to say that. What I will say is, as a result of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, they paved the way. They low-key need to be a part of Black History Month, because let's be honest, the way these brands and these companies are showing out specifically for Black people and then specifically for women, nuts. So as a result of me being Black and a woman, I've been accepted to the Black Accelerated program of Amazon. And I will be launching all the products that you girls and guys brought from your girl over the years will now be on Amazon in 2022.
Period.
I'm really excited about that. I literally just got
excited. Come on, man.
When I said multiple streams, I said multiple streams. Like I need utility. So yeah, with that said though, y'all definitely look into that. If you are a merchant, if you are Black, and if you are a woman, there are grants out there for us. There are programs out there for us to win, specifically now more than ever. And we have to eat it up during this pandemic before they start to find some normalcy. Take advantage of their privilege. So
girl,
all of that is coming, and I'm super excited. And I just want you guys to join the OXI Gang on YouTube. It's going crazy. I finally got my email about me having 10K views. It's ridiculous because I've been on there since 2016, but it doesn't matter.
It takes time. It don't matter. We here now, and it's up. Like it's for real up. Like everything that you have been working on, like now is all gas, no brakes. Like it's up for die. So I'm excited to see it. Like for real. Like I'll be looking at your post like, oh, look at my girl. And I remember when you was like, I'm moving to Charlotte, and I was up there, no, don't leave. Like I damn lived in Durham at the time. Don't leave. Who am I gonna come visit? Don't leave. And just to
Let's go,
see
girl.
you taking a leap of faith and you for real, like, and even though now it is coming, and I, you know, I'm not all that religious, but I do vividly remember Galatians 6:9.
Come on now.
Okay, when you plant what you plant in your harvest, like don't grow weary. Because when it's your time, and I'm summing it up. Okay, for those of you like that ain't exactly like
yeah.
It's summing it up.
Paraphrasing. Yeah.
Paraphrasing. Okay. And I carry that scripture in my wallet, surprisingly. Like, because I feel like I'm always planting, and it's always a time for my harvest to come into fruition. Right. And so there are planting seasons, resting season, and harvesting seasons. And right now I can see your harvest coming. And I'm so excited about it. Yeah, and like she said, follow her, book her, like her. I'm gonna make sure I include all of your information down in the details for both the YouTube and the podcast. Thank you again for taking the time out to do this with me. Like I know it was kind of like, hey girl, what you doing? Can you
and I'm always ready, as you know.
Yeah, up, you girl? Were always ready. You like, all right, what day, what time, what I gotta do, what I need to be ready. I'm just very grateful to have you in my life. Again, looking back, never would have thought that girl that I sat across, that I was legit having my pregnancy until I got in that building. And I would never get when I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go to appointments on Wednesdays. And everybody was like, for what? I was like, I'm pregnant. And everybody said, oh, like they legit thought I was
getting that job first.
Had to get the job. And Mr. Curtis said, oh my. Like,
girl, we hired him.
We hired you? Oh, okay. But yeah, I love Mr. Curtis to death. Still, my baby about to be 8, and Mr. Curtis, he's still checking in there.
Oh, she about to be 8.
About to be 8, girl. Like crazy. But thank you so much. And I'm gonna get ready to let you go. And yeah, I'm definitely, you already know, like this year for me, I'm about to be 30. Wow. I wanna pop out. I wanna get back into who I was. So I would definitely be linking with you. Yeah. In regards to the shoe, and green is my color this year too. In regard, you see my overall brand is green, like everything is money, prosperity, like that's what I'm about this year. So again, thank you. I love you so much.
Love you too. And
all right, and so y'all, we about to be out. All right, bye.